Thank you. So the story that goes along with these two songs is that they are the title songs of the first two records. And as we already discussed, the first record that was made quickly, and it was pretty easy. It came out great. It was very successful. We did a very short tour. And then I was called away to Paris because my band, Fleetwood Mac, was making Mirage, and they'd already been working for about 6 weeks. So it was like, they were like, okay, it's time. And I made the promise, so I was good on my word, so I had to wrap it up. So I went off to Paris. It wasn't that bad. At least I went to Paris, not like Siberia or somewhere. So I went to Paris, and it was in this big castle outside of Paris. And but it was really pretty, but it really wasn't that great of a place. It was hot, and there was no ice. But what I did was, I already had my songs for Mirage. So I'd already written Wild Heart. And the reason is because in my really insecure heart, my really insecure wild heart, I was terrified that people were going to think, if I didn't do a second record and it wasn't good, that Donna was just a fluke. And that was not going to happen. I was not going to let it happen. So when I was in Paris, I was like really aware of that. So it was kind of a beautiful romantic place, so I could write. So when I got done with Mirage, I called Jimmy Iovine and I said, okay, I'm ready to go in. Wild Heart's done, most of the songs are written, and I think it's really good. It's definitely not Donna, it's different, but I think it's really good. Can we start like in 1 week? And he said, yes we can. So I went into the studio, made Wild Heart. It was not as easy as Donna because I was a little more spoiled by then. I was a little crazier by then. And it was more fragmented and wilder. It was the Wild Heart, so it was a wilder record. So it took longer, but when it was done, it was great, and I loved it. So I said, please God, let the world love this record. So we put it out, and it was very successful. It was just as successful as Donna. So I was able to stand back accidentally. Somebody yelled that out loud the other night, and now it was written in my brain. So I was able to actually just look at the whole situation and go, okay, now this is proof to the world and to my band that Donna was not a fluke. But more important than that, it proved to the world that my solo career was not a fluke. So from the girls, take that all you boys! So anyway, that was the story of those two. I mean, there's still very much more. I'll put it in a book sometime when I'm like 95. But anyway, so the last part of the Seal story is this cape. This is the original Donna cape that I wore on the back of the cover, and the inside of the cover, on the bottom. I'm going to show it to you. As you can see, if you can't see, I'm telling you, it is perfectly in perfect shape. There's not one thread out of place. There's not a hole in it. There is no wear on it. It's like it's absolutely brand new. And the funny thing is that my mom was very frugal. And this wasn't because she had to. My parents were both very poor when they were young. But my dad did really well, and so did my mom. And so they were, like wealthy, but not my mom. She was never going there. She was frugal. She would never walk in Neiman Marcus, ever. I did, but not her. So I couldn't even tell her how much this stuff cost. So, because this cost $2,000 in 1981. Now that's a lot of money now, too. But in 1981, it was a lot of money. And so if I'd said to her, Mom, this cape for one song cost $2,000, she would have just fallen over dead in front of me, my little mother. So, but this is what she would say now, if she was here, and she's not. But if she was here, she would say, Stevie, that was a very, very good choice of fabric that you made. Because That silk chiffon is made for, that's what they make the sails for boats out of, and it will last forever. And so if you divide 30 years into $2,000, this is a really good deal. So that's the little precious bit of my mom. I carry it with me, that little person behind me saying, you know, the money might run out. So be careful, especially now. Thank you. So this next song was written in my house in Santa Monica, across the street from the ocean, from the blue calm sea ocean. And it was 2005, and I was off, and I was drawing, because sometimes that's what I do, I draw. And it's calming, and it's fun, and I can while away 10 hours drawing and not even realize it's gone by. So I have a TV on, I'm not really listening to it or watching it, but it's there as a sound, mixing with the sound of the ocean. So I'm drawing, and all of a sudden I realize that every time I look up, there's this ghastly thing on the TV, which is this massive hurricane. And I'm looking at it like, what is that? And I'm looking at my blue calm sea going, like, that's never been here before. And they're going, well, this is, you know, like a really big hurricane. And it's just getting bigger, and it's like 3 and 4, 5, and I'm like, well, what are we going to do about this? We have to stop this. And, well, the gods are like, not going to stop it, it's coming. So I put my drawing down, and I just sat there, and I watched it for like 24 hours, and I maybe slept a little, and it just got worse. And so I started doing what I always do as a writer. If something's happening and it's serious, I want to write it down because I feel that time passes and people forget. And if you write it down, they don't. So sometimes I feel like I have to be that person. So I thought, I have to write more about this. And I have to start writing about it before it slams into the coast of New Orleans, because I have to get this thing going. So I start writing my poem. And then I'm like, well, you can't, as a writer, you can't write a horrible, depressing dirge about a city that's just about to get hit by a hurricane, and then expect in 10 years for these people to go like, oh, that was such a beautiful, totally depressing, miserable piece of writing. Why did you do that? And so I'm going, okay, we have to look at it another way. So I have to attack this. I have to think about how this is really going to be. I have to be aware that, first of all, New Orleans is not going to go down. I'm painting a picture right now. It is going to survive. They're going to get most of the dogs out of the water. They're going to get, lots of people are going to survive and come back to New Orleans, and they're going to rebuild their houses. And the music is going to still play. And you're still going to get to go to New Orleans and spend a magical weekend. And it's going to happen because I say so. And then I got some music, a really beautiful track, and I put it, by now it's almost here. By now I get the track, I put it on the cassette recording player, and I sing it, and it's really, I think it's really good, and it's really sensitive and compassionate and scary. But, okay, so I put it in the gothic trunk of lost songs, and I sit there and wait for the hurricane, and I watched it for days and days and days. And I had a lot to say about it that I didn't put in the song, you know, like where was the government? Where were the people? My dad used to be president of Greyhound, and I thought if my dad had been alive, he would have sent all those Greyhound buses in and gotten all those people. So anyway, the song was done, I put it away, and I never played it on stage. I recorded it for In Your Dreams in 2010, didn't do it. Went out on the road for 2 years and just couldn't do it. But this tour, I thought, you know what, I think it's time to share this with people because it means a lot to me, and I hope it will mean a lot to New Orleans someday. So this is called New Orleans. We're going to play it for you now. In the city of dreams lies the city's gold. City.